Leon Rask. I'm totally kidding. It's not Leon Rask. My my Ain Tova is Clara Sandler, and I wanted to say that I'm gonna shout you out first. So the first week of seminary was the first Shabbos. A lot of people know the story, including Clara, so I know she's comfortable with me sharing it. But it was the first Shabbos, and we were sitting around at we had our lunch table situations, and we were with May Rob and her family, and all of us were sitting. I was sitting next to Chaya, and then on my left, I know exactly where everyone was, like Shira and Clara, and I don't even remember how I remember the placement of the table, but I remember where everyone was sitting, and we were talking. Claire's like, I don't remember the context exactly, but it was we're talking, we were schmoozing out something, and Claire's like, yeah, you're the from one, and a day after, I was so mad. I was like, oh, I can't believe this. And it kind of goes back to what I said during Mishmar, that's not how Lindemann works. We really challenged each other. And even if there were people who were more to the right or more to the left, we all just talked about it together. And wait, I need to find Clara. I want to look at you. So I can't even see you. I'm not even sure what page you're on. Cheryl, can you spotlight Clara? I can't find her.
Yeah.
Don't spotlight me. Oh no, don't do that.
Oh, I see you. Find Clara. Clara, I see you. Clara and I used to always joke that we're each other's opposite, but I think that that's something really special. Oh, hi, Clara. You're so pretty. I haven't seen you in so long. I think it's very special to be able to come together and to be different, but be able to be different together. Sorry about my dogs. And the fact that you were able to be super sticky, shout out to another sticky friend, because I love shtick, and the fact that you put so much time into our perm spiel, and just that you were willing to, you always smiled, you were so funny in the base, just always a good time, always a good laugh, and it's fine. I'm the from one, but so are you. You got through SEM, bro, and you're amazing. So just keep it up, Clara, and I can't wait to see you as president of the United States sometime soon. And I'm just really pumped to see where you go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, now you can hear me. Okay. Sorry, my AirPods have been giving me a problem recently where they only work when I bring one of them to my mouth. That's a lot of information, and none of you care. If I can quit before I go into my Ayin Tova, I'd like to tell the story from my perspective. If I remember correctly, what happened was my friend Ayala was talking about NPSY Give or something. And then I was like, I made a process comment out loud, which I have a habit of doing. And I said something along the lines of, it's so interesting that you went on Give, because I would I don't know if anyone from Shulchan has ever gone on something like that. And I think I said it's just because you come from a more right-wing background. And if it came off as judgmental and if you hated me for it, I'm so sorry. But
it was great. Look where we are now. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I still remember it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Opposites attract,
Yeah. Okay. So now my Ayin Tova, because that's what you guys really care about. So it's actually for my friend Laura. And there's a lot to say about Laura, because there's a lot to say about her. The first story I'd like to tell about Laura actually involves my friend Chloe Schreiber also. This is the point of inflection that I can point to, and it's the reason Laura and I are friends. We were supposed to be davening during Kabbalat Shabbat in Kfar Tzion, but you know how I am with davening, really good at it. And I was being really funny, like I always am. And I was making jokes about Harry Potter, because what else do I talk about? And I'm like, oh my God, we're like Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Chloe's Ron because she's ginger. I'm Hermione because I'm Hermione. And Laura's Harry because she's British. Whatever. It doesn't have to make sense, but that's the point where Laura and I became friends. And my Ayin Tova about her is that she has done the best job of anyone I know ever in my whole life of keeping in touch with people. She and I speak a couple times a week, a lot. But every time I'm on the phone with her, she's like, oh my God, I meant to call this person, or this person called me, or can I call you right back? This person's calling me. not only is she keeping in touch with her closest friends, she's keeping in touch with everyone because she was closest friends with everyone. And that is such a life skill. I wish I was good at keeping in touch. There are so many people who I wish that I was in touch with that I'm not, but Laura just somehow is in touch with the entire seminary, and she's just an amazing person, and I'm so lucky that I get to be such good friends with such a wonderful neshama who also inspires Jewish learning every time I talk to her. So thank you, Laura, for being my Harry Potter.
So this is actually, thank you very much, Clara, for that. There's actually a funny coincidence that my Ayin Tova is Chloe, so it's kind of like a triangle going on. But a few things. Firstly, I have to say that is actually, now Clara, that you've said that, that is probably the first time where me and Chloe just like, we were like all laughing together, like hysterically. I've never actually laughed that hard before in like such a serious situation. And then from that, like I met Chloe at the very beginning, and I know I've said the story about Chloe like multiple times, but our first day of SEM when we started was like, I think Robin and Nomi or Robin and Sally, it was all a bit of a blur to me. I think it was Robin and Sally said Pasuk, and it kind of led us all into learning together. It was like before Shabbat or during Shabbat, and I hadn't learned in a while, and Chloe obviously had, because obviously fresh, woo. And we sat down, and I hadn't read Hebrew in a while, and Chloe literally sat there, and I explained how like I hadn't learned Hebrew in a while, I hadn't like translated in a while, whatever. She literally sat there, read, translated, like explained everything to me, and was so understanding, and it eased me into SEM like from the first day. I felt so out of my comfort zone, and from the first day I like felt so comfortable. So thank you for that. And also, obviously, my roommate, it came to be after Timna left, he became my roommate, which was just so fitting that like kind of was like a full circle. And always like, I don't know if like many people know this, but Chloe has such an underrated sense of humor, like actually hilarious, like funniest stories, funniest jokes. And I miss you a lot, miss my roommate. But yeah, seriously, such a great person. So yeah.
That was so nice. I love you so much, and I miss you, roommate. Also, Clara, I didn't know it was a Gingy, but that's good to know. And my Ayin Tova.
It was shtick.
My Ayin Tova is Eliana Shockett. And I just wanted to say that every time that I think of you, like I just see you and you're like big smile, and it makes me smile. Like if you're just have that like thing about you that you walk into a room and like everyone smiles, and like just makes it such a positive time. And like I know that like this is such a classic thing to say about everyone, but like it's really so true with you. Like you're such a nice person, and yeah, like I said, like I just think of your smile every time I think of you, and it's so nice. And when you dropped off the kugel for Mishmar that one time, I was like, wow, that's so nice. You sent me that text like, oh, I'm coming to your house to drop off the kugel, and I was like, oh my god, like this is so amazing. So I just wanted to say that. And fun fact, me and Eliana actually knew each other back in the old days at Nesher when I went there for one summer. Yeah, ever since then, she's been an amazing person, and I miss you.
I miss you too. Thank you. I'm talking about Hannah Room. Hannah, I just want to find you on a little screen. Oh, perfect. Hannah, what really strikes me about you is your thoughtfulness and sensitivity. You think deeply about topics and share a thoughtful and interesting perspective. It's so clear that when you interact with others, you're aware and thoughtful about how what you say affects other people. And also in my time in lunchtime Daf Yomi, it strikes me about your openness to learn and your willingness, persistence, and drive to stick with things, even when they're hard. You're really in it for the long haul, and I admire you and look up to you in a lot of ways.
Wow, that's so nice. Okay, thank you. So my Ayin Tova is Tari, and so I just wanted to say that, like, I don't know, like, I feel like you're always so positive, and you always, like, when something bad happens, you, like, put a positive spin on it. Like, you're always like, this is gonna be great, this is gonna be okay. And, like, and it's not only that you're like so positive all the time, but like you also like go out of your way to like talk to every person, be very friendly and very upbeat, and like talk to like and just like ask people how their day is going. Like I'll meet you in the hallway and you'll ask me how I'm doing, and like my day just became 10 times better. Like it's really amazing. Yeah.
That's so sweet. Thanks so much, Hannah. I have Dahlia. And I was really excited when I got Dahlia because she's like my roommate and, you know, one of the first people I met, and also one of my really close friends. So yeah, it's really exciting that I got you. And just like from the moment that I met you, you've been really like caring and kind and like really making sure that I feel welcomed in Lindenbaum. And I think that one of the reasons that I had such a smooth transition was really just because you were there and like making sure that, you know, I was happy and comfortable and everything. And it just like made my life so much easier when I came. And also just like, I really loved, you know, we had like a chabura, I think it was you, me, Hannah, and Hadassah. And I think it was for Parashah, I always forget though, so it could have been something else. And I just like all of your really insightful comments, and like, you're just like so intelligent and like share that with everyone and kind. And yeah, you're just awesome. I love you. I miss you.
Thank you so much. I miss you too. The person I have is Anaya. And I decided that since I wrote a poem for Rabbanit Devora, I should also write a poem for Anaya. So here goes. Anaya has always struck me as an achiever, less of a talker and more of a doer. For example, in just 1 week, she did 5 different cheseds, and in all of our programs, she always participated. As well, although Anaya does not always get jokes, she herself is hilarious and will never fail to cheer up folks. As I'm sure we all noticed, Anaya is also a genius with hair and style, and I'm still entitled to the makeover I won on the Hanukkah raffle. Anaya is also always such a motivated learner in and out of class. She always asks amazing questions and always seems so focused. I say all this with a heart sincere, and I'm so glad we met this year. I hope a reunion will soon appear.
Wow, Dahlia, yeah, you are amazing. I love you. I miss you. So I had Yael. So yeah, I don't even see you. Ah, yeah, I see you. So Yael is one of the French speakers in this seminary, and I can say that it saved my life, literally. I remember that we spent all the second day of Chag together, and we had so much, I will try to be American, DMD. Is that it? Deep meaning conversation? No, it's actually not that. Yes, it's that. Okay. And it was, and it was so nice. Like I love this day. And I love doing chesed with you because yeah, you take everything so easily. You go with the flow without complicating things. Everyone know that. And it brings so much clarity in issues in general. And yeah, you adapt yourself to every situation. And when the stress comes up, you deal with it. You don't let it coming over you, and it is so much appreciated. Also, people have to know that you helped me so much with the beginning of the year when I basically understood anything. No, nothing. And I wanted to point out a specific thing in your personality, though. You don't talk a lot, and that's a big quality, a really good quality. And I think that we can really learn from that because, yeah, you know, Lashon Hara goes so fast. And also, I remember in the Pirkei Avos class, it is said that the multiplication of words brings the sin, and Rambam said about it that the sin comes because all the words are usually superficial, and it is not your case. And thank you for like teaching me that. I love you. I miss you.
Thank you so much. I love you too. I miss you so much. I have Brenna. I'm so happy I got to know you this year, whether it's just me being in your room or sitting next to you on the 7 bus. You're so kind and you're so thoughtful and inclusive. You're always there to help someone with open arms, and I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I had Dina. Dina, one thing that really sticks out to me about you is your smile. You're always really warm to anyone and so approachable, and I think that's a really great quality to have and a really important thing. And you're always smiling, and like that's also a really hard thing to do. And you're really nice to everyone and so easy to have a conversation with. And also, you always bring up really good points in Gemara, which is really cool. So I miss you, and yeah.
Okay, Dina's listening in, but she sent me a video to share, so hold on.
Deshauna Ginsbury. So I just want to say that you always have a smile on your face, and you sat right behind me in the base a lot and always made me laugh. Like I would always be listening to your jokes and just you're so funny. So yeah, I'm gonna miss you.
Thank you so much. I miss you too. So I had Eliana Raskus, and I was thinking like, I wanted to try and find a word I could use to describe just like the energy Eliana Raskus has, because you like know when she's walked into a room. I was trying to think of some different words, like there's happiness and positivity and like hilarity all rolled into one, but also like she has this element of calm that just sort of like puts you at ease and you're just like happy to be around her. So the word I like decided on was uplifting. She's just so uplifting to be around. Doesn't matter whether you're like in class with her or just like chilling around the building or whatever. It's a really amazing thing. Like we used to, on Tuesdays, we'd do our Dakenu coverages right next to each other, and we'd like just have these amazing conversations about like the intricacies of like the difference between Maya Note and TABC, still not sure, or like having Disney sing-alongs or whatever. And it was just amazing. And yeah, so just a fantastic, uplifting person.
That was so sweet. Thank you. I had Orly, and it's kind of funny because I also had Orly at the beginning of the year, which was a full circle. So something I've even further seen about Orly is the fact that not only Orly are you very driven based, but you don't just like decide what you think is right and like implement it into your life, but you surround people. You surround yourself with people that you think have good values and who you've watched and who you've either seen. Like I think just last week in your shir, when you were talking about your grandmother and the Hadla Kotne wrote, I saw something like really special in the fact that you really take the qualities of people around you and really truly embody them into your life and make that an aspect of who you are. And it's always just so impressive that you're really able to learn from other people and implement that into your life. And I also think you have a really special quality of making other people feel so special. I know like just last week you sent me a text that made me like really made my day. And I think that's a quality that not a lot of like, that is a really special quality that you like really embody, and it's truly amazing.
Thank you. Wow, I'm really happy you got me again because you know how much that one meant to me before in the beginning of the year, so thank you again. I had Noah, and when I was thinking of what to say to Noah, there was a lot of things that I could say, and what kind of like the first thing that like hit me was like, you know, we've done a lot of cahoots these days because of Corona, and that's like the only thing that we can do. And you know, like on Kahoot when it says like highest climber, like the person that's like jumped up the most on the leaderboard. So when I think of Noah, that's what I think of. I think that, you know, coming into seminary was probably hard for all of us in our own ways, but I like beyond cannot imagine like the strength and like passion and determination that it must have taken on your part to come to a place where you really didn't know anyone and to make that much progress. I mean, like, it was really incredible. And on top of that, like, you just have this like natural ability to kind of like ease atmospheres. Like I was in your group. I don't remember if it was just for one or both of the like Zoom sessions earlier this week that were like concluding the year. And like, let's be real, like Zoom breakout sessions can be like really awkward. And it was just good to be in your group because you just kind of like fill that silence and you make everyone kind of feel like, okay, like sure, like it's a little bit awkward, like you have no idea who's gonna be there, and then you turn your camera on and then you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing, but you just really make it like easy. You like our natural leader, take control of the situation in like a really great way, and I think that's just a really special thing.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I had Maya G. Somebody pinned, oh, I see you. Hi. Okay. So there are two words that I would use to describe Maya. The first is giving. This is kind of a funny story. So I think I like missed dinner, or I didn't like what they were serving or something, and I went to the McCullough to get vegetables to make stir fry. I didn't find any, and I'm like walking back, I'm like, what am I gonna eat? And I was like freaking out. So just like shot in the dark, I posted in the Lindy ladies chat. I'm like, does anyone have vegetables I can use? Like, I will pay you back. And like immediately Maya responded, and I just like, she like gave me like some broccoli, and like I don't remember what I ended up making that night, but it was like without even hesitation, she was like, yes, like I have vegetables, like come to my room. And just like seeing like, you know, the way you interact like with Darkano, and like hearing about other things that like you've done like in high school, like you're just such a giving and like generous and selfless person. The other word that I would use to describe Maya is like ruchani. I remember Simchat Torah. You had a hakafa, and you just like, and even like just like in the hakafot in general, like you had so much energy, and I was like, wow, like I want to be like her. And in Poland, like anytime like we would have like a tish or we would sing somewhere, like you always like, you put so much like passion and so much ruach into everything you do, and I've always looked up to that.
Thank you, Noah. Wow. I'm like out of words. Thank you so much. It meant so much. Okay, so I have Julia. I don't know if someone could spotlight her if she's on. Oh, there she is. I had Julia, which I had the privilege to meet Julia way back when in 10th grade. Way back at the Yunman conference, where I lost to her and she won Best Delegate, but that's okay. Not so bitter, only a little. And that is when I first met Julia, a very loud personality, strongest one in the room. But then we got to SEM and I got to see a different side of Julia, which was quieter, more timid, respectful, serious. You could always find Julia in the base in the morning saying tefillah, learning extra time during lunch, and it was really admirable. Okay, Julia is kind, she's confident, she's intelligent, she's wise, she's determined, and she's motivated. For the first Ayin Tova, I don't know if you guys remember, but when people weren't there, they were ditching, sleeping, whatever, Julia was the first one to pipe in and so eloquently talked about everybody. Like, I honestly would not be able to talk about people the way Julia did with the words she used. So that just is a true testament to who Julia is. And she's amazing. And I'm so privileged that I got to have my year with Julia, and don't even need to wish her success because I know she'll be so successful in life.
Oh my gosh, Maya. Wow. Thank you. That was so nice. Thank you so much. I have Lauren. You could pin her instead of me. So I really think, like, when I was thinking about what to say about Lauren, really two words came to mind, which was like, I think she has such a sense of authenticity and also just complete devotion. And I think like something that is like a testament to that is the second week of seminary. For some reason, we still hadn't really met yet. Like, we knew who each other were, but we didn't actually know. And we were in the bathroom in between classes, and like we were both washing our hands awkwardly. So like we started talking, and then afterwards, Lauren was like, we should actually talk more after this. And like when you see somebody in the bathroom, like, and you like say something like, oh yeah, like we should catch up afterwards, like you don't always follow through, but like Lauren really followed through. And anytime she saw me in the hallways, she really stopped and made sure to talk to me. And in terms of like your devotion, Lauren, it's really to both like your learning and your friends. You see it when you're in a classroom, the way that you participate and answer a question. I don't think I've really experienced that from like other people in a classroom. you just see the seriousness in your learning and the way that you care about what you're learning and your Torah. And it's been such an inspiration for me to watch. And also just your breadth of knowledge is just completely inspiring for me to watch. So thank you for all that you've contributed in the classrooms. Really, it's meant so much to me, and I'm sure to so many other people.
Wow. Wow, thank you. I'm like speechless. Hopefully later I can like give a proper response, but thank you. So for my Ayin Torah, I have Eliza. And hi, Eliza. First of all, just about Eliza. Eliza is someone who always notices everyone and makes sure to include them. And as Julia said, in the first 2 weeks were kind of like a blur to me. I didn't really know who anyone was. Honestly, I don't really have so many like vivid memories from the first week because it was just very confusing. But one thing that I do remember was the first day. And it's crazy that I remember this because I literally didn't know who anyone was. But Eliza definitely stuck out to me. And on the first day on the bus from the airport, I remember Eliza talking to me. And she didn't know me. And like Eliza came from SAR, she knows a lot of people. She didn't have to talk to me. And we're just talking on the bus, and she just included everyone in the conversation. Everyone who was sitting around her was part of it, and it wasn't she wasn't only speaking to the people she knew. She included everyone, and this went all the way to that last Shabbat together in Shadmot Michalab, and we were in the same room. And at that point, like things at home were already escalating, especially where you lived, and your attitude was still the same, positive, energetic, including, exciting, friendly person that I knew from the first day. And again, like even sometimes it could be awkward, like who's going to be in your room when they place you, but just when you're with Eliza, she just includes everyone and it makes you feel great. So thank you.
Okay, can we switch it to Hannah G and I can like say my little thank you to Lauren? Not on the big screen. Okay, so just before I get to Hannah, I wanted to point out that the first thing I said to Lauren was that I set up her sister and her sister's husband, and I still take credit for that. Thank you, though. Also, okay, so switching to Hannah, basically, okay, for starters, I want to say that you're like extremely a unique individual, and I know that like everyone can agree on that, but like you also completely own it. Like you are really comfortable in your own shoes, and they for sure always match with your outfit. So like that's just a nice little comment. From your lighthearted charisma and your like friendly attitude all the time, like you really played a huge role in like this dynamic that we had as a group in Lindenbaum. I was lucky to get to like have a chavruta with you and Malka like once a week. We did Parsha. And I got to know you as not only the bubbly, like sparkly personality that you are on the outside, but also like your insightful comments about the Parsha and like good questions and conversations that we had when we were learning together. So it really demonstrated like how multifaceted you are, and like you just have like a lot of different aspects of yourself. I just wanted to thank you for always giving everyone a good laugh and knowing how to light up a room, and also inspiring, like I would say probably almost everyone, with your love and dedication to your Torah and Judaism. So thanks.
Hi guys, thank you so much, Eliza. Okay, I have Me'ira Safra, and hi Me'ira.
I'm like eating lunch, yes, hi.
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for always trying out new things with me. I'm being willing to step out of our comfort zones and do something a little bit different just to see how it goes, good or bad, just because why not? I think that you are one of the most caring and just understanding, thoughtful people out there. And no matter what it was, we all know there were times when I was just like, I don't know what's happening anymore. Like, I don't know how to be a person. I just don't know what's going on. And you were always there to talk to me, no matter how long it took or how stupid it was or whatever I just wanted to talk about. You were always there. And I really appreciate that you were never just like, but it's fine. Everything's just going to be okay. You were like, okay, it doesn't feel like that right now, but one day it will, but it's okay that it doesn't feel like that right now. And then boundaries, like, find your happy place, find whatever makes you happy, and then going out and trying to do those things with me and just always being there for me. And it just meant so much, and I really appreciate it, and I really miss being with you. Yeah.
I miss you, Hannah. And like our friendship is like one of my biggest takeaways from the year. Hannah and I actually became friends from mindfulness. Shout out to Elisa Shapiro, because I only really like I went and then like Hannah and I had a lot of fun, so I kept going. Thank you, Hannah. I'm gonna be talking about Rebecca Metzman. Someone please spotlight her so I could see her. Hi, Rebecca. Rebecca, you are one of the most put together people that I have ever met in my life. And like, I think I was in your room when you were trying to like get dressed for like the SBR reunion. You're like, how about this outfit? How about this outfit? I'm like, perfect, great. And then like, how about this one? And like every single option and choices that you put together, like you just looked fabulously put together. I think like that moment also represents who you are, that no matter what situation you're in, like you always come across put together and you take your learning really seriously. And like you always have fun, insightful comments. Like for the bit of time that I was in Ravioni's Halakha class, like you were a driving force in that class and really impacted my experience a lot. And like anytime I'm around you, like it's always just a great time, including the Yom Ha'atzmaut scavenger hunt. We won, and that's totally thanks to Rebecca. And I'm so grateful that you were a part of my experience.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Meira. That was so nice. I had Shoshana Distenfeld as my Ayin Tovah. And one amazing quality about Shoshana that I think we all know and love is her ruach and energy. When she enters a room, you know that she's there because she just takes everything and puts her 100% effort into it. And an example of this is in Shtamot Mechala. I think we all remember the Gramim. She was like the Gramim queen and had so much creativity and just is able to like brighten up a whole room and make everyone feel happy and just has an amazing energy. Another example of like how she has like an amazing effort and puts effort into everything is that Rob Blau would always call on her to answer questions because she just always knew the answer and she was like a Y&J star. So yeah, thank you, Shoshana, for being so energetic and just making everyone so happy.
Wow. Okay. I don't really know how to respond to that, but thank you so much. That was really, really nice. I have my aunt. If you want to spotlight her, please do so. Yeah, there you are. All right. Just like firstly, for all the times that I made cholent on Thursdays and everyone was like, oh my God, Shoshana, like you're so dedicated to making cholent, sharing it with everyone. The only reason I could ever do that was because my Jan let me use her meat sink to spend hours washing the pot and afterwards. If it wasn't for her, no one would ever get any cholent. So thank you, my aunt, just for your meat sink, but also this is for a billion other things. I mean, this has obviously been spoken about before because like who couldn't have, but I still think it didn't get as much attention as it deserved. Like Kedma, whoa, like that, it seemed like an almost impossible feat to get like Linden Mountain Girls involved in like singing and dancing and coordinating everything together, but you still were able to do it and it was awesome. And we definitely had fourth place, sorry TVA, but it was definitely us. And like to this day, still gonna remember. I still have it stuck in my head, and I'm always gonna remember you for that. Also, another thing that has to do with music. One in Shabbos, I think it was probably the last in Shabbos I had. We were all like chilling and helping clean up, and I really wasn't feeling well. It was like during a nice stretch where I was like gluten and dairy free, so I was like just hungry. And I really wasn't feeling well, and I was just not in a good mood. And then my aunt and I kind of got into like a singing war where we were just like, I know more about Yeshiva Boys Choir, and then she was like, well, I know more about this thing, and we were just like yelling random songs at each other, and it was really fun. Everyone looked at us like we were crazy because like, who are these girls singing these songs, these like random Hebrew songs that no one's ever heard of before? But it was a really good time, and I really appreciate it. You really made me feel better, so thank you for that. And yeah.
Shoshana, that was so sweet. Thank you so much. My Ayin Tovah was Abigail. To whoever's spotlighting, like, thanks, really, thanks. So Abigail, the energy that you gave off this year was really amazing. It added so much to like our year.
You're always so fun and literally just like brought happiness around you, which is a really, really amazing quality and one that I admire a lot. The example that like most comes to my mind is how by Hanukkah you took like every opportunity possible to like start singing Hanukkah songs and like urge people to join in. And it was just like, that just like brought even more happiness and joy to like an already really joyful like Chag. So thank you. And I know that like whenever I'm sitting by you by like a meal or you're in class or like you're just chilling in like our room, shout out to 227, like I know you can always make me laugh. Even in situations when they weren't like the best, you would always make like a joke about it and they were always hysterical. And I think that you really embody the idea of like mitzvah gedola liot b'simcha tamid. And without you, the atmosphere and just it wouldn't be the same. And like you genuinely elevated our year. So really thank you. And like I have so much to learn.
Thank you so much. That was really, really sweet. And if anyone needs like a Hanukkah playlist, just text me. I'll send you the songs because all year is Hanukkah time. So I have Yakira, and I'm very happy that I got Yakira because she is just like one of the most amazing, like energetic, happy, smiling, as you can all see, people. She just like you really just honestly inspire me. Like I personally know that public speaking or like being in a big group of people sometimes like really intimidating for me. I'm like nervous to speak my mind, but you just like get up there and you state your opinion. You're like not afraid of anyone who's gonna fight back, and but at the same time you're not like pushing them down. Like you want to hear what other people have to say, but at the same time like you stand up for yourself and what you believe in. And I just think that's like a really great quality that like I hope one day to have. But and at the same time like you do it all with a smile again, and it's just like really inspiring to watch. So I'm really glad I got to meet you this year.
Thank you, Abigail. Whatever, I'll thank you later. I have Tova, and I think this is really fitting because it's I and Tova. Tova, we've actually known each other for a while, but I'm really lucky that I got to know her this year. From when wait, am I on mute? Okay. From, just because I'm still spotlighted. Sorry. In our chavrita, you always brought the smiles and the laughs, even when Night Seder was dragging out a little bit. I love hanging out with you. You're so true to yourself. Your wall kills me, and I miss you so much.
Is Tova here?
No.
Okay, so hold on 1 second.
So Tova had Naomi, and I think I speak for everybody when I say that Naomi brings a kind of positivity into a room like nobody you've ever met. Even though you didn't necessarily always understand what I didn't always understand like what you were saying. I think I always understood your message, which was that you were always trying to bring a lightness to the room and just such positivity. The fact that you brought like the entire group together by your song about loving rocks, and it was so unique and so unlike anything anybody had ever heard, and it really became the anthem of our entire year. It just goes to show how much of an impact and power you had to every single one of us. So I'm just gonna say thank you from all of us for just bringing that light and that anthem to us all.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Now, Tova's trying to get back on, so when she gets back on, we'll circle back. But yeah, go for it. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on, Naomi, you'll get 1 more minute, okay? Because Tova's here, so we'll let her talk first. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, she's here. Tova, are you with us?
Yeah.
Hi.
So I had Naomi. Let me put my camera on. So I had Naomi, and something about you that really stood out to me the whole year was your positive attitude and your positive outlook on everything. You came to Lindenbaum not really speaking so much English, and which is Lindenbaum is a mostly English speaking program, and you took that on like full on with stride. And I saw how you like came to classes all the time, and even if like things were hard and complicated, you always like asked questions and you didn't let that stop you. And even like at the end of the year when things were crazy with Corona, you didn't let that get you down. You continued smiling always.
Thank you very much. Okay. I have Adasa. I'm sorry. It's just that when I have a lot of
No
emotion,
worries, I'm not judging you.
no, it's just that I have a lot of emotion. I can't really talk, and I have a lot of emotion for you because you're an amazing person. You're always bringing a joy around you. And just like you're a you say reassuring person. Like
we love you.
Like thank you like very much for all the moments that I've been with you, and then I just like feel I felt like
Thank you. That's really sweet of you to say, Naomi. And like, it really means a lot. So I have Chaya Ross. You can like spotlight her. So Chaya, hi, I see you now. We're matching basically. It's like, you know, twin telepathy, I feel like. I want to say that like just like meeting you and like your whole demeanor is very calming and sweet, very like approachable, and like I always felt like you were such like a sweet and nice person. And like I like there's a ton of people at the Mitra Shah, and like I never got to know you super well, but like you always just were such a sweet and nice person. And like your people last all like Makom Beit Midrash. Your Makom Beit Midrash was like in front of me, like a couple rows to like the right. I think so. And like I always saw you learning, and like you were definitely such an inspiration. Like your love of Torah and just being a good person. Like you really like really represented like a good neshama and like a kiddush Hashem, just like your entire being. And I wish you much success in your future. And you've definitely made an impact on my year, just you as a person. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Adasa. That really means a lot. I have Panina, which is kind of funny because at the beginning of the Kahoot, she said that she didn't talk to me for the first month because she didn't know who I was. So I guess we've kind of come a long way. So I also owe a lot to Panina because she's one of the few people who, when she moved down to the second floor, she made a trip all the way up to the third floor multiple times to visit us in room 331. So on behalf of 331, we really appreciate it. And then something that really stands out about Panina, like I could really go on forever, but one thing that's like really stands out to me about her is how talented she is, but how she will never brag about it. Like it's very understated. Like when you sit in class with her, you start to realize just how smart she is, and like when we were talking about college, just like all her various interests, not just like in the classroom. And then also like then you find out that Panina dances, then you find out that Panina is a cheerleader, then you find out that like Panina's like an incredible artist, and you're just like, wait, no, like where's this all this coming from? Like you have like incredible talent, but like the way that you just keep it to yourself and just it like still is able to shine through everything that you do, I think is really amazing. And I feel really lucky that we got to spend this year, but we also get to spend college together. I'm very excited.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot. I had Renee as my Eintova, if you want to spotlight her. And I think one thing that everyone can like agree with about Renee is that you'll never see her not smiling. I was trying to think of like an instance that she was in a bad mood when I was interacting with her, and like I can't even think of one. From like the first out jobs we had when we were both in Fashman, and Renee like offered to drive us to a bus station that would help us get back to Lindenbaum faster, all the way until like the last days in the building when Renee and I were like two of the last people there after like most people had left. And those dates felt like they were months. And it was so sad to see everything so empty. But Renee was still like such a happy camper and really like just lightens up the room whenever she walks in. And I'm just so grateful that I got to meet you and that hopefully we'll continue to stay friends for a long time after this.
Thank you. That's so nice of you. And like I loved sitting next to you in Schmote and like hanging out every week. I had Sarah. So I don't know if you want to spotlight her.
On here?
She's with Hannah.
With Hannah. The fun. Okay. Hold on.
So Sarah was my roommate, so I like kind of laughed when I got Sarah for the Eintova. So like at the beginning of the year, we didn't know each other before this year, but through living with each other, I definitely got to know you, and it was so nice to live with you, and you were always like so agreeable and willing to share. And then I just want to share like a couple of memories I have from this year with you. So one is when we had the Tiul to Ir David, neither of us went because I had a migraine and you, I think, like had a cold or something. So we both stayed back and we were just like in bed all day, just like chilling, like sleeping. And then we would like roll over and like talk for a little, and then like we would just like go back to sleep. And then another memory is when I fell on the escalator and had to get stitches, and you always offered to help me, like, because I was always like limping around, and you always offered to help me like get me stuff. And I think one time you even like tied my shoes for me because I couldn't really bend down. And it just like showed like how willing you were to help, and it was always so nice to just like chill with you in the room or like talk late at night because we always went to sleep really late, and every single week would be like, okay, this week we're gonna go to bed earlier, but like we just never did. And I miss living with you, and I hope I can see you soon.
Renee, thanks so much. You're a great roommate. I miss you. I had Ahava. Ahava, I feel like since the beginning of STEM, we like became friends, and I really looked forward to every week our Prashani Karutas. Even though you left me, it's okay, forgive you. But those were really fun. We literally just would talk the whole time and like talk about different things going on in our lives. And I remember I was really stressed about like the whole case thing, and it's so funny because like none of that even happened in the end, but we talked about that so long, and you were so helpful, and you're such an understanding girl and so thoughtful. I'm really happy that I met you this year, and I really hope that we keep in touch. And
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we can admit that we didn't do like a single ounce of work in that class until we both dropped it because we're listeners in here. But I enjoyed every single second we spent, and then we both switched to another class and then continued being chavruta. So like it was fun. Anyway, yeah, Cheryl, that's what it's like. Anyway, so I have Joy, and I feel very lucky. Like I feel like she's such an easy person to talk about. There's so many like insanely amazing qualities. I'm just gonna share like a few snippets of like memories I have with her. Like I remember, first of all, like she was talking about her like journey to become from on her own and how she used to like walk to shul every Shabbat. And I know she lives like kind of in the middle of like not the most Jewish center, and like the dedication that she had towards her Judaism, and like every adversity that was like in her path, just because she wanted to like grow her connection, honestly almost made me feel bad about myself, because I barely had to work to gain that, and here was someone who worked so hard and was so determined. And not only like before Sen, like every time I walked into the baby Josh late at night, I would always like consistently see joy like in her makom, not even like socializing, like sitting there determined, highlighting, sticky noting, like really getting into her learning, doing such an incredible like intent like in everything she did. And also when she was learning, she wasn't like just learning with Americans or Canadians or whatever. I always felt like she really made a big effort on behalf of the entire program, but herself also, to include the Israelis and make like meaningful connections with them. And that was like another thing that I really admire about her. And yeah, I also remember talking to her about like our like aliyah and like what we wanted to do. And she was like talking to me like, oh, she wants to go to the army. But then she was like, yeah, like I got into Yale. I'm like, hey, like she got into Yale, like she's not going to the IDF, like that's not going to happen. But like classic Joy, she found a way to make it work and like overcome everything that came in her path and managed to like merge all of everything like she wanted to do. And she's gonna get to do it all, which I think is just a testament to who she is and how hard she works at literally everything she does. And it was just like a pleasure being in Selma with you this year. All the best.
Okay, thank you. I have a Joy had to sign off early, so I have a video for her, and she's actually talking about Molly. Molly, I don't know if everyone knows, is not here because her grandmother passed away on Friday. So the funeral is this morning. So Molly also sent me a video about her person. So I'm going to show you 2 videos in a row now. Okay.
Molly, you are truly one of the kindest people I've ever met. You always have a kind and a caring word and a warm smile for each person you interact with, regardless of whether or not they're your close friend. You added so much to the group with your unique personality, your thoughtfulness, your empathy, and your desire to make each and every person feel welcomed and included and an important member of the group. Qualities really not to be taken for granted. Molly, you're wonderful, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to get to know you. Tali, I want to just tell you how inspiring your love and passion for learning is. Every time I see you learning in the base or accomplishing a goal, it makes me want to learn more and create new goals. So thank you so much for being a constant inspiration, and keep doing what you're doing.
So I'm gonna speak, one second. I'm gonna speak about Hannah Fisher. So like I mentioned in my thank you for Rabbi Tali, so me and Hannah, we went to Rabbi Tali for Rosh Hashanah together. And we didn't know each other so well beforehand, but it was really special because we really bonded, staying up late, talking, and it was a really great chag, and I have a lot to thank you for that. And throughout the year, we've had like so many amazing experiences, like both failing at bouldering together or getting lost before we start a hike. No, but really, you're such a kind and generous person, and you're such a genuine friend. And I loved that you were always sitting on Shoshana's bed right behind my wall, and that I could constantly talk to you. And miss you already.
Thank you so much. That was so sweet. So I have Shira B, and when I think of Shira B, I think of the word generous. I really think she's just one of the most generous people here, like at Lindenbaum this year. And I thought it was so fitting when she gave her shir, like her peer shir, which was really, really good, about Mito, because I think of Shira, and then I always think she's one of those people, and I think it's so clear that she's always trying to work on her Mito. She's always trying to make herself better. And something that sticks out in my mind is really when like we've had Shabbat, like Ramim at Rabbanit Dina's house, and Shira's always one of the first people to run to the kitchen and to help out and be like, how can I help you? What can I do? And I always look at her, I'm like, oh, I need to be more like Shira, like in that sense, because I just think she's so inspiring. And I also think like another example, something similar, is just when it comes to the bags of like the food that we had and that we got for like this. And Shira volunteered. She's like, I'll help like drive and I'll like help drop stuff off. And she didn't even have to do that. That wasn't her responsibility. But like with like so many things, there's so many other examples. She's just always one of the first people to like lend a hand to help out. And something else I like admire about Shira is that she's always herself and she's like really confident, really open, really honest. And I think that's really cool. And that she's also someone who's like, when she thinks your joke is funny, she'll let you know because she's like really honest and stuff. And I think I appreciate that and that she's a good listener. And I think it's really like important. And I think it's like what Robin Sally was saying, that the small things make a difference. And I think Shira does a lot of small things that like really add up and make a difference in like our lives. So yeah.
That was literally the sweetest thing that anyone's ever said about me. Wow. Thank you so much, Hannah. I really appreciate that. And I'm so happy that we were in STEM together and that we got to make so many memories. And for my Ein Tova, I have Stephanie. And I just want to say that me and Stephanie sat next to each other this year in Gemara. And whenever I was like not able to focus or just like spacing out for a little bit, I knew I could always count on Stephanie because her notes were so just unreal and like so neat, and like she was so diligent and like got every word down. And like but I would always turn to her and be like, Stephanie, like what did I miss? And like she would always show me her notes and just catch me up and fill me in. And I'm really appreciative for that. And also another thing about Stephanie that I really appreciated this year was that we were chavrutas in Rav Blau's Shmot class along with Danielle Shapiro. And again, I always had trouble like zoning in, like wanting to learn all the sources. And Stephanie and Danielle were always like, come on, Shira, just one more, like you could do it. And they would always cheer me on and encourage me. And even though they were probably better at reading Rashi and whatever, all those things than I was, I still knew I could always count on them. And you, Stephanie.
Thanks, Shira. I miss you. I have Danielle Dorfman, who was my roommate. So I had a lot of things that I could say about her because we spent a lot of time together. So I'm just going to focus on a few qualities that I think really Danielle exemplifies. So first, I realized after living with Danielle that she's really, really dedicated. I've already mentioned this before, but she journaled every single night of seminary. Like I literally don't think she missed a night. Even when we were up till 2 a.m. any night, I would find her in her bed with her journal. And I think that's such a good quality to have. And I want to read it eventually. So I'm just saying. Also, you were so caring and considerate. Like you made sure that whatever you did in our room, you would check with everyone first to make sure that it was okay. And you really put others' needs before yourself, which is also such a good quality to have. But most of all, you're really laid back and fun. And it was so fun to share a room with you. I remember when we were all packing up and we had to leave prematurely and everyone was kind of freaking out. Like at 3 a.m., we just decided to turn on music and we were dancing and we were hanging out and making it really chill instead of stressful. And we made a lot of funny TikToks at like 3 a.m. So I really miss living with you and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Oh, thank you. I miss living with you too. So I have Leia, if someone can spotlight her. So just a few things about Leia that I've noticed as I've gotten to know you over the year is that, so the first thing is that you are really one of the most kind people I've met. You're always the first person to volunteer for something. And especially like in the beginning of the year when we had Kabbalat Shabbat and no one would sing, you can always hear your voice and like it like eliminated the silence. And I think that was like really special for everyone. And also like one thing that I'll never forget is like every time you would do a white wash, you would always wash my white shirt. And like I know it like seems so small, but to me it meant a lot that like you were always thinking like, oh, I'm doing a white wash, like let me reach out and see if she needs anything done, because I only had one white shirt that like I would wear and I didn't want to put it in like my black load. So I really think that was like something that I'll never forget. And I just like know that it was really special to get to know you over this year, and you are really a natural born leader, and I think like you really stand out amongst everyone, and I miss you a lot.
Thank you very much. I'm honestly honored, so thank you.
My Ayin Tova is Daphna, who I'm very blessed to get to say is one of my sweet mates. So honestly, Daphna, I'm going to start with a story that I told you yesterday. I hope that's okay. Daphna is in fact my sweet mate. She lives on the other side of like the room to me. But the first hike we had, Daphna and I were hiking together, and like I was just super stressed. I was like, okay, I know everybody, but like I don't know everybody. Like I don't know what to do. And Daphna was like, okay, like we're gonna be hiking buddies. Like it's chill. And like throughout the hike, we were talking about like Broadway and like things that interest us. And like I kid you not, throughout the entire hike, I was like, okay, like Daphna is one of the coolest people ever. I just need to become her friend because she's insane and like I want to be associated. Like literally, you are the coolest person ever. So I'm very happy to say that I hope we did accomplish that this year. I really loved getting to live with you as a sweet mate, and you're just straight up amazing. Daphna's humor is like top tier intellect level. Like there's times she'll crack a joke and I'll be like, oh, like that was like a joke. Like some Martinez levels increased here. And honestly, you saw that when you were in Beit Midrash on 1,000 different chavrutot and phone chavrutot, and just in your Beit Midrash time, like you always looked super like into it and serious. And honestly, I know how hard it is for myself to stay focused during that slot. So it was just very inspiring to see you like just straight up going at it. Another thing about Daphna is that, okay, just straight up an incredible sweet mate. I don't know who knows this. Daphna would just like go on a cleaning spree, and she's like, no, like I just saw something that needed to be fixed and like I cleaned it. And like I think that's a very, very indicative of Daphna's personality, because like she just walks over like, okay, like I could do it. So like I did. And Daphna's like one of those people that like you'll walk into a room and be like, okay, like I've got a friend here, like no stress, no worries, like Daphna's here, like I'm totally great. And I'm very lucky and very honored to have gotten to spend this year with you. You are really like an incredible person, like a caring friend, just an amazing all around, generally like so kind and smart and intelligent. And I am so excited and so thankful that I really got to spend the year with you as my sweet mate. I loved it and I'm really honored. So I hope you have an incredible year and many good things, Daphna.
Thank you. Wow, I don't even know what to say to that. Thank you. My person is Rania. Oh, good spotlight her. Hi, Rania. So for anyone who doesn't know, I've known Rania literally my entire life, like all 19 years. And even though you moved away after 6th grade, like I've always known that I can always just like text you or FaceTime you, like whenever, totally comfortably, which like you can't say about everyone. Like that's like pretty impressive, especially in like middle school and high school. So I was so excited when we found out last year that we were going to be going to STEM together. And I just have to say that it was so much fun to spend the year with you this year. And every time that I would see you, you were always just like smiling and bubbly and happy, and like down to like just talk or like reminisce about the good old days and Sharon. And it was always just such a like positive part of my day. And so I'm so glad that we've stayed in touch all these years. I can call you a friend, and I know I can count on you in the future.
Thank you. That was so nice. This is for Dana. You could spotlight her. Dana, you're one of those people. I have like so many things to say about you. We became friends on Machach, and I like knew when we met that we would just kind of like be friends forever. But the one thing that I really wanted to touch upon is the fact that you're such a good listener. I have had countless times where I just come to you and you're just so supportive of everything. And I think that it's just really been such a pleasure being friends with you. And I wanted to talk about your Aliyah Day because I was just really, really inspired by you. It's not an easy thing to make Aliyah at this age. And like, you were just so confident, and I just look up to you a lot, and I'm so excited to see what the future holds for you.
Thanks, Franz. Okay, I have Emily. So, one thing about, oh, there you are. Okay, so one thing about Emily that really sticks out to me is just how relatable she is. We're in a lot of like the core classes together, like Gemara and Halacha, and it just happens to be that in both of those classes in Chavruta time, she sits in front of me in the base. So we always end up talking because we like ask questions, and then that just leads to talking. And I just find like how relatable she is, and I just like love to talk to her about anything because she just I always just like connect with her so well. Literally crack me up. You're so sweet, and I'm just really happy that I got to know you over the year.
Thank you. That was so nice. I have Carmel, and Carmel is really, really special because she has so many qualities that are so subtly like that make her so amazing. And one of them is that she's quiet, but when she has something to say, it's really well thought out and like thoughtful. And another really special quality is that you're just so fully kind-hearted, and like everything about you, there's not one mean bone in your body. And also that you have a really good sense of humor. And I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for you.
Thank you so much. I have Sharoni, so is she here? No. Okay, so I remember one of our first Persian classes, probably a couple weeks in, and I was having trouble following the classes because they were in Hebrew, and I'm not so good at the Hebrew thing. But I know that Rav Klitzner asked a question, and then you raised your hand and answered it, and I remember being really astounded at your answer because first of all, you answered in Hebrew, which was cool for me, and then also you could tell in how you answered that you really knew what you were talking about and had a great, a strong education, basis that you were, playing off of. And then later in the year, we had half of our classes, it was, mostly the Chutz Haaretz program, so they were in English instead of Hebrew, which was a lot easier to follow. And you would come sit next to me, and it was really nice to learn next to you and talk to you and share food with you, and it was really amazing. And so thank you.
So Eliana Gorfinkel, I just want to say, it's not so often that you get to, it's not so often that you meet somebody who can talk to anybody, and I really think that's you. The way that you talk to people makes them feel special. It makes it feel like you have, I have your whole attention. It makes it feel like you care about everything I have to say. When you spoke in Chamino, it was very impactful. I think that it was really a turning point in our adventure, in our trip in Poland. And I remember on our second Shabbat Ramim that we got to both stay at Rabbanit Rachel's house, and I remember thinking, I'm so lucky that Eliana Gorfinkel is one of the people who I get to stay up late with and talk to, because really I think talking to you is a special experience, and I love that you were here. So thank you, and I miss you.
Thank you so much. That was so sweet, and I miss you too. So my Ayin Tova is for Serena, and it was mentioned earlier, but also it was her birthday yesterday, so if everyone wishes her a happy belated birthday, you guys should really do that. Serena was my Gemara Chavruta for actually the whole year. We started off together at Rabbanit Rachel's, and each class that we had, it was always so fun, but also mixed with us really steiging and learning and getting everything down. But when we didn't feel like it, we would chill and we would just have fun, talk about deli rolls, talk about all these different types of things. And it was just so fun learning with you basically every single day and just being around you, because you're such a positive and sometimes dramatic, but in the best way possible. And yeah, I really miss you.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Sorry. Thank you so much. That was really nice. And I love being your chavruta for the entire year. Whenever Rabbanit Rachel was do you want to switch? I'm please do not switch. But, so thank you. My person is Timna. I don't know if Timna's here. But I just wanted to say, I'll tell her this later, that coming in, Timna was more experienced than all of us because she spent 2 weeks the year before in Lindenbaum, and it was just so helpful because she knew kind of the ins and outs, as much as you can get in a few weeks. And she was very big sisterly, showing us the ropes and teaching us about all of Israel, and you could always go to her for a question, whatever you needed. Another thing is like she's always like very positive. Like you know where Timna is, like just walking around the building, like laughing or like making a joke. Like you'll hear her like having fun. Yeah, so that's the other thing. And then another specific things that Timna until she left was my night sitter chavruta for Tuesday nights. And yeah, so Tuesday was always a long day. I don't even know what happened on Tuesday, honestly, because it's been so long. But I remember always at chavruta, like I was so tired by the time it came, and like we learned about like medical halacha, which was pretty cool. But always like before Tim is like, do you want a snack? Like if you're tired, like we can get a snack first, and then we can like go sit down and like learn about it. So she was always like very caring and like considerate for what I needed, but then also like we learned a lot together. So yeah, that was a fun time.
Okay, I have
So, what's up? How's it going? I hope everything's great. Cool. Great. You're an awesome person in general. I'm actually upset we didn't like get to spend more time together and become like closer friends because I just thought that you were just like a super cool person. Like one, I thought you were like cool and trendy as like a human. Like what's also like fun, I always like admired you was like TikTok. You were there like before it was cool. Like I rate that. But also like as a person, like in class, you were always like you'd always say things. I was like, oh whoa, like I didn't think about it that way. Like was always nice, and like I think I felt that from a lot of people. I think I especially felt it from you. I'm pretty sure we were on Raviani's night Seder together, and always like insightful things and like, you know, things that like either I wouldn't have thought about or I was like, oh my god, that was like tip of my tongue. What's like really like love people like that. Does that make sense? I don't know if any of this is making sense, but that's okay. But I think you were such a genuine person and like you could have always, you just like lit up the room. And I'm doing hand actions that you can't see, which is really a bummer, but that's okay. But I hope you only have simcha and goodness come to you later in life, and I hope to see you again. I'm sure we'll, you know, if you ever come to Australia, you're welcome, like everyone is. But you're welcome always. My house is your house. I hope to see you again. I hope you have an epic life and stay safe.
Thank you, Timna. She already texted it to me, so I responded, but yeah. All right, I have Orit. So Orit, you are a really kind-hearted and trustworthy person, and everyone knows that if they need good, real advice, they can come to you for that. And I really admire how thoughtful you are, and in all the classes that I'm with you in, you always offer the most insightful comments. Also, you're very, very bold, and you aren't afraid to share your opinion, and you're willing to defend your beliefs, even if it means you have to fight with someone about it. And finally, the fact that you spent almost the entire year creating a massive blanket out of the same color yarn without getting bored of it or giving up is really a testament to your ambition and your ability to execute an idea that you have. So thank you for that.
Okay, so I'm gonna speak about Tamar. So I think something really unique about you, Tamar, is the fact that you kind of have this like ability to do your own thing and like be happy in what you're doing and like do it successfully. Like I really always admired you that you just kind of took scissors to your hair, not really, but whatever, and like made bangs for yourself. But like yeah, like that's one example, but I think that's like representative of a greater aspect of your personality, which is that you do what makes you happy and you're willing to take challenges and leaps, and that results in like further success. And a lot of people sometimes get held back by like what other people around them are going to think or what other people are going to do, but I think you really stand strong and firm in your beliefs, and I really admire that person, like that trait of yours, and I think it's an incredible trait to have, and I think there's a lot to learn from that. And I also just think you're an incredibly like hilarious person to be around, and you always have good things to say, fun things to say, like you know how like you're always adding interesting things to that conversation, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. I have Mia. Hi Mia.
I just want to say that I remember so clearly the first day that you got there, and I heard people next door, because you were next door to me, and I went next door to like see what's going on, and like 800 people were surrounding you and like trying to talk to you and be friends with you, and you were so calm and just like talking to everybody, being so chill, and I was like, oh, she's really cool and nice, and I just like had, it was such a good first impression, and I was so impressed. I would have been freaking out, all these people like talking to me. And we became good friends, and I'm so happy because you're such an awesome person to be around, and I love you and I miss you.
Thank you so much. That was really lovely. I've got Danielle Shapiro. So like, yeah. So first off, you're just like really an incredible person, and I'm so happy to have met you. And like coming to a program halfway through, I don't think like people realize like the impact, and people as in the like everyone, and specifically you, realize the impact that like doing small things makes. Like for example, like when I first came, you were just really welcoming, like saying hi to me in the hallway is just something that like really helped me and made me feel welcome, and like inviting me to go out with you when you like had no need to do that. You could have easily like ignored me, whatever, like really just was a testament to you and like really made a huge impact. And also like in terms of classes, any time that you spoke up in class, like I shut up because I wanted to hear what you say, because you like really, you are so insightful and have like you think so deeply about everything. And so yeah, I'm so ecstatic that I got to meet you, and I miss you loads.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, I wish we could have definitely spent more time together. It was way too short. I have Ellie Steinloff, so hopefully it spotlights her. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I really, really enjoyed spending my year with you, Ellie. And we didn't have that many classes together. I was actually, when I got you, I was like, wait, we didn't have that many classes together. But the classes that we did have, I was always very grateful when you would contribute, because it would be very subtle, but you would raise your hand or you would get called on, and I'm so sorry. And you would say something, and it was just so worthwhile to listen to. And it was just such an interesting point, and I was always very grateful that you spoke up and that I was paying attention. Also, separately, out of the classroom, I feel like whenever I was in a room with you, or when you walked into a room, I came into a room that you were already in, it was just a very uplifting experience, and you brought a lot of joy and happiness and not carelessness, but carefree nature, I guess you could say. So it definitely contributed a lot. And lastly, I just say that you're super stylish, and I could definitely learn a lot from you in that respect. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Really means a lot. I had Michal, so if she could, okay. So I just want to like, I have a lot to say about Michal. When Cheryl texted me her name last night, I was like, okay, like I really need to think about this, because it's a lot of different things I can say. But Michal is one of like the first friends that I made this year, and I could tell that because when I look at my pictures on my phone, something that Michal knows is that my phone is filled with selfies of just Michal, because my phone was better to take selfies on than hers was. So we really became friends from the beginning, because for a lot of reasons, and I had met her beforehand, but like we were not actually friends, and I'm so happy that I got to meet you this year, Michal, and you're really thoughtful and generous and really like think of the details, and there's just like a lot that I could learn from you, that I did learn from you, and I also really just enjoy being around you. So much fun to be with and be around, and yeah.
Thank you, Ellie. I just want to say, I don't know, some people are, I'll just tell you later, actually. No, I'll tell everyone now. So I have Kayla. If someone could get this off of my face. Is Kayla here? Wait. I don't know. Anyways, I'll just talk. Hi. Oh, yeah, there you are. Hey, Kayla. So I have a few things. The first thing I want to say is that I don't have a lot of classes with you, Kayla, but one class that really stands out to me that I do have with you is Agata with Rev Blau. That class is a lot of, it's like, Agata is like where you can learn a lot of life lessons from. And I just think that I was very lucky to be in that class specifically with you, because you have a lot of very, very, I guess I'll use the same word, insightful and like important things to say about your perspective on the world. So I think that I was very lucky to be in a class, like obviously that was very intellectual, but also the one that was very more of an inspiring nature to be in that class with you. So I can learn a lot from you outside of just, like Gemara text. So that was really special for me. In addition to that, I just wanted to point out that it was also very appropriate that, for peer shears, I think that another word I used to describe you is that you don't give up. Like, if let's say you're like willing to tackle any challenge that you have, and you don't, just because something's, let's say, a challenge, you don't just turn your head and walk the other way. You just say like, you have to move to Teaneck and now you have this whole room set up for yourself. But also another thing was with the peer share, you didn't sign up originally, and then you were inspired, right? Am I right with that? Yeah, and then you were inspired by all the other shears to sign up. And I just thought it was so appropriate that you talked about a rainbow, because not only do you just add so much, color with your personality, and you always are willing to share what you have to say and, really give it your all and give it your best, but also you are, let's say, like what I was saying about not giving up, and like really, like, I guess at the end of the storm, like the beauty of the rainbow. So I just thought that was really appropriate, and thank you for all that you've taught me.
Thank you. Also, like, everyone should stay in touch with me. You should stay in touch with me. My Ayin Tova, I think I must be the last one then, because it's Ayelet. And Ayelet is, when I think of like well, first of all, I want to thank Michal. Thank you, Michal. But when I think of the Lindenbaum class of 2020, whatever, like the first person that comes to mind is Ayelet. She's kind of like the face of, I don't know whether it's her energy or her, like, if you're hearing a voice, it's probably hers. But it's definitely, you've definitely established yourself as a VIP, and that's not it, as an MVP, that's the expression, as an MVP, and a VIP. And I admire that, and I admire your confidence. I'm also grateful for your radical acceptance of people around you and your supportiveness, like whether or not we're ready to accept it, you're always there to offer it. And I've been on I'm clapping, so sorry. That's my phone. But you guys never heard that because it was WhatsApp. But I am incredibly, I notice and acknowledge your supportfulness and your efforts. So thank you. And thank you for being you.
Thanks, Kayla. That's so sweet.
Everyone went, right? Yeah? Okay. I'll end this part by just saying what I think I said to you probably the first after Faretzion also, is that like this whole exchange both to each other and to the faculty, but really to each other, like is really just the tip of the iceberg. And like don't miss the opportunities to like say the things to the people that you want to say them to. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
I just like
Nomi.
Yeah. I think we're going to turn over the floor right now to Brown. Talk a little bit more about the package that is on the way to you shortly. Brown, are you?
I'm ready.
Rev Brown, where's your collared shirt?
It's Sunday. It's a work day in Israel, you know?
Who is asking?
It's obviously a Yelet. It's also close to
It's
midnight.
Michal. It's Michal.
It wasn't me. I would be crying.
Naomi, you're sharing?
Which one first?
Okay, the Siddur.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I hope you guys able to see something, and I'm sure you already have seen it, but still, I think it's diverse to say. I'll keep my dvarim very short because of the late hours, at least by us. Many years ago, when we decided to give a present, it took like 2 or 3 years till we came with the Siddur of Midreshet Linbaum. And the idea is very simple, but I think what we gain is also a Teudat Zehut. Whenever you see someone with a Siddur like this, even though that the Siddur sometimes change because there's no the same Siddurim that we gave 15 years ago, but still the Siddur from the outside, and for sure from the most of the inside are the same, I think you can identify a graduate of Midreshet Linbaum. This is the present we're giving. And the present is on the cover of the Siddur is Tfilah Le'eretz Yisrael. Naomi, can you share the Tfilah of Rav Nachman Mibreslav that I think was one of the great mitpalelim of Am Yisrael, and those who want to find different tefillot should look for his collection of tefillot that is like in the size of the Tanakh, and he knew how to pray. And we gave you this Tfilah Le'eretz Yisrael, Ribono shel Olam, רחם עלינו ברחמיך רבים, ותעורר את ליבנו ואת לבב זרענו, ולבב כל עמך בית ישראל, meaning awake the heart and our descendants and all עם ישראל, שיהיו לנו כיסופים, that will have, לחשוף is to really wish, וגעגועים, I would say yearning, גדולים, בהשתוקקות, so 3 different words to the same idea that we should pray that we'll want to come to Eretz Yisrael, ונחשוף, ונשתוקק, he repeated again, תמיד באמת לבוא לארץ ישראל, עד אשר תזכנו ברחמך לבוא לארץ הקדושה במהרה בימינו, למען נזכה על ידי זה, meaning that because of the tefillah we'll be able to come to ארץ ישראל and we'll have the merit להתעודד באמת לעבודתך וליראתך, חוס וחמול עלינו מלא רחמים, שלא נבלה ימינו בחוץ לארץ, ונזכה לבוא לארץ ישראל, חיש קל מהרה. So that's the tefillah we're giving you, and we hope that that Siddur will be with you. I want to say one word because I want to thank Michal again to the warm thing that she said, and she spoke about me pushing to Eretz Yisrael, and I think those who have been in Poland heard it sometimes, and other students heard it in the different times. I think it's important to say that there is a beautiful midrash, that the midrash says, פעמיים כתיב לך לך, ואין אתה יודע איזה קשה ממנה. There's twice that Avraham is commanded to do לך לך. One is, לך לך מארצך וממולדך ומבית אביך אל הארץ אשר אראך, and the meaning of that, עלייה לארץ ישראל, and also, לך לך אל ארץ המוריה, and that's עקדת יצחק. And the midrash asks, I don't know which one is harder. I won't discuss the whole idea of the midrash, but I learned from this that עלייה לארץ ישראל is almost as hard as עקדת יצחק. And as we pray that we never will do Akedat Yitzchak. And we understand that this is something very hard. I learned from this that when we try to educate you and send a message, Aliyah Eretz Yisrael is a very hard task. So even though we're pushing, we don't judge anyone because Al tadun et chavercha shetagia lemkomo, don't judge anyone till you get to his place. And I never was really in this place of making Aliyah due to my parents, Alayhim Shalom, that after the Holocaust made Aliyah Eretz Yisrael. So where I have the zchut or the right to teach people to Eretz Yisrael. So I think the book that really is the closest book to me in Jewish thought is the book of Rabbi Yehuda Halevi. And Rabbi Yehuda Halevi end the book with Aliyah Eretz Yisrael, and he write like this, and that's really almost the last line, the last words of Sefer HaKuzari. After 5 chapters. And the last word he says, גם מי שמעורר בלב בני אדם אהבה למקום הקדוש הזה, whoever awake in the heart of people love to this place, ראוי לשכר בלא ספק, והוא מקרב את בו תקוותנו. So Rabbi Yehuda Levi says that the person that tried to make people to love Eretz Israel deserves sachar. So from him, I'm learning that I have the right to try, even though that it's a very hard test that each one of you is going to be tested. And even though that I can understand how, I understand that I will never fully understand the test, and I understand that I cannot judge anyone, still I have the right, according to Rabbi Yehuda Levi, to do this, and by doing this, ראוי לשכר בלא ספק. כמה שנאמר, אתה תקום תרחם ציון כי עת לחננה כי במועד, כי רצו עבדיך את אבניה ואת עפרה יכוננו. And he finished, the last words, זאת אומרת, ירושלים לא תבנה, כי אם כאשר ישתוקקו לה בני ישראל תכלית תשוקה, עד אשר יכוננו את אבניה ואת עפרה. And I learned from Rabbi Yehuda Levi that there is an essence, even if you're not making aliyah, to have the desire. כי אם כאשר ישתוקקו, when people will have the desire to come to Eretz Israel, and obviously he says, עד אשר יכוננו את אבניה, they will redeem the stones and the dust of Eretz Israel, and we are living in an era that we were able to do this. So even though that we all the time teach you, and I try to teach, and not just me, I think the whole school, you heard this message of coming to Eretz Israel, and that you will gain a lot if you're making aliyah. We have the right to do it because that's our contribution to Geulat Am Yisrael. גם מי שמעורר בלב בני אדם אהבה למקום הקדוש הזה ראוי לשכר בלא ספק. So this is a siddur that will be sent to you with your name, and we hope that you will be able to use this tefillah and will have the zchut of לעורר כאשר ישתוקקו אליה, that at least you will have the desire, and hopefully the desire will come to be a reality. And whenever you see a person with a siddur like this, probably they got it in Midreshet Lindenbaum. In the same time, we said when you're making aliyah, you can leave it to someone else that maybe it will help them to move to Eretz Israel. So it could be that other people that got from our students has this siddur. Unfortunately, we cannot give it in the hands to you. So we'll be send it. It will take I heard that there is problem with the posting, especially in the States, and we hope that you will get it sooner rather than later. But I think here's the good picture of the siddur. And in order not to waste time, Bli Neder will send you the next day or two the tefillah that you can start saying the tefillah. In the same time, we have another custom in the Midrash that whoever make aliyah, there are two stages. When you make aliyah, Bezrat Hashem, let us know. We'll be happy to come to pick you from the airport. People have done it in the past. If we'll be allowed to enter the airport and if we're allowed to see you when you're coming to Eretz Israel, I think if you're coming in the near future, we won't be able to do it, but אנחנו מתפללים that very soon we'll be able to do it. Let us know when you make aliyah. Test us when you make aliyah. We'll try to help you as much as we can. That's our zchut, that if you're making aliyah, that will give any help that we can. And we want to recognize two people that making aliyah, and we're going to give, I think one of them got it, if I'm not mistaken. Dana, you got it? If you didn't get it, you got it. So Joy will get it. It's the book of Rav Riskin. I can tell you that this is highly recommended book. Whoever I gave this book, and we gave it for many, many people already, either in Hebrew and English, everyone was grateful. I don't think there are many people that can tell stories that are life lesson like Rav Riskin. He's one of the best storytellers that I ever heard. You heard some of his stories this year, but very few in the book. It's just an unbelievable book. I will share you, I gave it to one of my friends in Eretz Israel, and he said to me, Shlomo, I cried when I read the book. I'm speaking someone that is not young, an Israeli tzabar, and he asked me to get 5 copies that he will give to his kids, because he felt that it's worthwhile that every one of his kids will read it. And this is one example of many people that I shared the book either in Hebrew and English that later on said that it was a great book. So we give it to the people that making Aliyah. When you make Aliyah, you will get a different, there's another hashlama to the Siddur that we're giving. So whoever make Aliyah deserve another present. This is we're giving just to the people that make Aliyah in the year, that they have been in Midreshet Limon. And I would like to finish with the blessing that today in a hard situation, Achenu kol bnei Israel, הנתונים בצרה, בשבייה, בין ביבשה, בין באוויר, בכל מקום שהם, הקדוש ברוך הוא יוציאם מאפלה לאורה, משעבוד לגאולה, השתא בעגלא ובזמן קריב, ושיהיה רק בריאות לכולם. אמן.
Amen.
Amen.
Naomi goes back to you.
Okay. I just want to add two pieces of testimony to what Brown just said. When I was visiting one of the campuses earlier this year, some of the students, everyone was referring to one of our Bogrot, and everyone said, oh yeah, everyone knows that she will only daven with her Midrash Lamam Siddur. And then there was a whole discussion because it really seems that like on that campus, some of the students from different years did find each other and got together to have a Midrash Lamam dinner, and the connection was actually made through the Siddur. And the picture that I found, if you notice quickly when I was doing it, for those of you from LA, it was actually this clear picture. I remember it. I had as a message from Alana Gadish, for those of you who know her. If you notice, the year is Tafshin Samachet, so that's 12 years ago, I guess. And a few months ago, when the whole world went crazy, she sent me a picture of the Siddur and told me that she had gone back to using it on a daily basis because it was giving her some extra chizuk. So I hope that the Siddur brings you through many, not only crises, but very important moments in your life, and continues to give you that chizuk. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, right, Cheryl? Are we up to that?
Yeah, I think now we'll lighten the mood a little. Shoshana and Ayala have a Brahmin for us, and I think Naomi has a final version of the We Love Rat Midrash at Lindenbaum song. And then with that, we'll
we might want to offer to say goodnight to Rev Brown.
Yeah.
At this point in the night.
Good night, Rev Brown.
He's on mute. Okay. Okay. Which one of you needs to be able? Who needs to be able to screen share?
Ayala, please.
Okay.
Oh, let me stop.
Obviously.
It's fully not a Grommet. It's a song.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry to disappoint.
It's not a Grommet, and we have to say that this one is much less sticky than the other one. So it's a little bit more sentimental, but we also know we have horrible voices, so we're giving up.
I thought this was the lightning mood. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no, it's not.
Can everyone hear it?
Yep.
I stepped off the plane in Ben Gurion Airport. The tears started rolling down my face. It was 6 o'clock on a Friday morning. The first Shabbos was hours away.
I walked around the airport wondering who to talk to.
So many New Yorkers, I don't know what to do. And then I saw an out-of-towner thinking the same thing you. I was quite relieved to find you. So join us and we'll sing Ashri with Rabbanit Sally and Rabbanit Nomi. It doesn't really matter if you're floor 2 or 3. The bass never closes, you will see. Please take us back to Majestic Linden bound. We walked down the uneven floors, a puddle or two. Had to move some drying rags just to get through. Why are all my classes in room 2? Only Rob is checking on girls who are sick with the flu.
We love to learn Gemara all day and night. A full bass in the morning is quite a sight. We sang out all Masa along. Then Poland came back and joined the song.
So join us and we'll sing Ashri with Rabbanit Sally and Rabbanit Nomi. It doesn't really matter if you're floor 2 or 3. The bass never closes, you will see. Please take us back to Majestic Linden bound.
Now living in the dorm was months ago, but the vision is clear. And I think about it now and then, 'cause the people were so dear. And when I think about our Lindy ladies year, I wish we could have just one more shear.
Now the year is done, a few states some ran off, but Corona will never break this amazing bond. There's 65 of us all together as one. Lindy's 5, 7, 80, carried by a song. 2, 3. So join us and we'll sing Ashri with Rabbanit Sally and Rabbanit Nomi. It doesn't really matter if you're floor 2 or 3. The bass never closes, you will see. Please take us back to Majestic Linden now. So join us and we'll sing Ashri with Rabbanit Sally and Rabbanit Nomi. It doesn't really matter if you're floor 2 or 3. The bass never closes, you will see. We'll miss you, Majestic Linden bound 2020. We'll miss you, Majestic Linden bound 2020.
So join us and we'll sing Ashri
with Rabbanit Sally,
Rabbanit
Nomi.
Nomi.
It doesn't
It
really
doesn't
matter
matter
if you're
if you're
floor
floor
2
2
or
or
3.
3.
The bass never closes, you.
The bass never closes, you will see. Oh, won't you stay with us, Sammy Drescher, Linden Baum?
All right.
That was so cute.
Naomi, are you ready?
Shoshana, did you see we could be the next Maccabees? I feel really popular right now.
Okay, 2 minutes. So, who wants to enlighten us? Should we watch it again?
I am beyond excited for Naomi's song.
I think Shoshana would rather us do anything than watch it again. Like anything.
Guys, should we play a nice big game of put a finger down?
Why are you exposing?
That's a great coup. Wait, I don't have any ideas though, so help.
Don't worry, I'm going to send the video so you guys can watch it on your own time without me.
Put a finger down if you ditch Kamara more than